This is where the fun begins.
And I've always leaned towards if we're going to create something, we should check and see if it existed already to the fans, because it has a way. And I've always leaned towards if we're going to create something, we should check and see if it existed already to the fans, because it has way more value if we bring that in. And
Right.
It's like, why would I just replace it with something new? So if we're going to do an admiral, if we're going to do a big military leader, yeah, I could create a new guy, sure. But what about Thrawn? Thrawn is great. Thrawn is a character we all know. Thrawn has a lot of credibility. So then you ask yourself, is it right to use him? And can we use him in a way that's similar to the books? Or are we using him and it's going to go completely into left field? And there have been times when we wanted to use things from the EU, and I was like, yeah, but we can't use it that way, so why? I don't want to use it and change it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want to use it and make it something completely different. That's rude.
Are you sure? So be it.
Why, hello, you guys, and welcome. This is very spontaneous because I wanted to talk about something that I've been investigating and keeping an eye on a while now. And I'm sorry, like, I don't know if it's my internet or if you guys seen the glitches that I've been going through. My computer wanted to restart last night and going through all this fun technical stuff. But here we are, finally began, choppy, probably introduction beginning, but we made it. I made it. So I see people are hopping in, and I have 14 people coming in as well here, watching, listening, participating in the chat. So this is about Wookieepedia and Disney LucasFilm full lore Star Wars, basically. That's a big old mouthful, right? And if you've seen the history, Wookieepedia, and if you followed them pre-Disney and watched their evolution through the buyout until now, you know how corrupted they have become. And it's no secret that I myself, even though I stood on the pillar of diversity, you know, following the platform that Disney established with their DEI and all of that, but even though, you know, they're basically about diversity in the fandom, diversity within Star Wars, and that kind of narrative, me asking a question about diversity as a diverse woman, yes, I'm going to pull out that fucking card because that's the topic here today, as a Native American, you know, with also a little bit of Spanish and French, you know, in the mix. And maybe that's the strike that I got against me, is my Spanish and French blood. But anyways, I'm joking. But anyways, I asked questions regarding diversity during the time of I believe it was when they were correlating, people were correlating or saying the Tuscan Raiders were like Native Americans in the lore on colonizing and land grabs and all of that. And so with that, I proceeded to ask some questions about that and towards Wookiee. And I think also too, no, they already blocked me by then, but they blocked me. Talk about allowing diversity in the fandom and stuff like that, and preaching. They can't practice what they preach, basically. So we're going to get into this dynamics here. This is not a huge documentary because I just want to talk about something specific that came up, but I am going to put together a lot of what happened between me and them and others within the greater, I guess you could say, fandom or community or whatever you want to say, and their directive and what they have done and how they will cater to Disney now with the lore and stuff like this. But when it comes to classical original Star Wars expanded universe and stuff, they will change things just to fit their narrative. And I know Star Wars Scran has felt that, myself, many others. And then being a person who researches lore, gets into Star Wars, like in the nooks and crannies of it, with the lore, with the development, all of this, I have seen so much discrepancies and even changes in their platform, coined legends, because of course they follow Disney's narrative on the labeling and everything too. And they will take and change things to fit into the Disney faux lore. So I'm going to see who's here and say hello because it's alive, and that's just what I love doing. Hey, Darmet, how are you doing? And yes, sorry about the discrepancies and stuff like that. The whole computer BS of restarting and getting everything back in action. And then Star Wars Luke UK, how are you doing? And of course, the mod, woo, what's up, Soul Assassin? Hit the like button and share the stream out. Yes, go ahead and do that. And OG's computer had a bad motivator. Sure did. I have to go in and clean it out. All my files that I have on here when I do digital artwork, and even when I scan artwork, and then also with small video clips, I have them in high resolution. So there are things that I have to go through. And then I save some Star Wars comics PDF zip files that are on my computer, which take a lot of space too. So I have to go through and assess what I need to keep and what I need to toss. So that too is something that I need to do with this computer to help with keeping it well tuned and all that, I guess you could say. And Swift -1 is here. What's up? How are you doing? And we do have Logan Legacy in the house again over here, wanting to get himself triggered. I think he's coming here just to think he's going to get you guys triggered, but I think in the long run it triggers him, and if that's what he likes, then more power to him. Double A is here. Technical difficulties. Yes, technical difficulties is what's going on. And Scran is in the house. I see you. Brandon the Awesome. Yo, what's up? Let's see here. Yes, and hit the like button. Disney Star Wars is only. I agree. And Anakin Batsy, how are you doing? Now, if I missed you, I'm sorry, but welcome. And let's see here. And so let's go here. So how many of you guys rely on Wookieepedia even still today to look? I'm not going to go after and say, you're a shill, you blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not going to do that. But how many of you guys still use Wookieepedia on occasion to look something up? And then how many of you guys found discrepancies while looking things up? I want to know. This is basically a research question more than anything else. How many of you guys still use Wookieepedia on occasion, or curious to see what's going on in Wookieepedia, so you look them up? And how many of you guys have caught discrepancies within the original lore database that they have? Hi, Narrow Dark, how are you doing? And John, how are you doing? So let me know. Again, this is just for research. I am not going to be like, yeah, you do this, you do that. No, this is about just seeing who still relies and who has caught the discrepancies. I know for sure Star Wars Scran has, you know, double Aces. Back then I will admit, now just books and comics or other actual channel lore videos. Okay, there you go. And in Anakin says, very rarely, Sully, there's no other big Star Wars encyclopedias that rivals them yet. Well, unless you have those source books on your shelves. I'm still building mine, but it is so helpful to have those source books, all the encyclopedias on your bookshelf, so that you can go to your bookshelf and do your research without relying on such a controversial site that doesn't care about the fans, doesn't really care about diversity or anything like that. Now, let's see here. I think the only thing I noticed was that they consider TCW EU canon. They have it both in quote unquote legends and quote unquote Disney, the canon. So Soul Assassin says, unless I need a quick refresh on a subject, I rarely use the Wookiee. And Anakin asked me, oh, gee, and the EU purists should make one. That takes a lot of time. I barely have any time to work on art for an art exhibit and also do some stuff for you guys here on my channel. So, and then I do share things on Twitter. Twitter is something I can quickly go to and type something out and then go on with my day. So, okay. So I just wanted to know that, but let's get to the topic here. So just in the last couple of days, one of the editors has been reporting that they have been having a hard time piecing the Battle of Jakku lore together. I'm going to pull this up and we're going to go through this. And then I'm going to also address what Disney has said, you know, their statement on StarWars.com and all of that. So let me share this. Like I said, I did not, you know, go and pull up all my interactions with them, the block and all of that, and even Star Wars scrams and stuff. That is for another time. That is already, the evidence is out there. But the thing is, this person is one of the editors. And this is what they stated. This was on the 5th. It says, live look at the Wookieepedia Discord server. We're trying to rationalize the Battle of Jakku comic novels. So rationalize is just a coin word of they're trying to make sense of them and connect the lore, connect the dots. And we all know that with Disney, LucasFilm, and also with Wookieepedia, oh my God, my comments all went blank. That's crazy. And with Wookieepedia, Wookieepedia feeds on the narrative of Disney, LucasFilm, on what they want, what they want to be seen and stuff like that. So they will do exactly what they need to do to keep in line with Disney, Star Wars, Disney, Lucasfilm. But when it comes to the actual EU, the coined, labeled, tossed out legends stuff, they will go and add their own narrative. They will change things. They will change things to look like it's going to fit or add in Disney faux lore into it. I've seen countless times. I've been in the conversations. Scran, like I said, I'm gonna keep talking about Scran here because that's one of the latest ones, and it has to do with what book was it again? God dang it. Damn it. I hate when I forget the book name, but it's one of the prequel books. And it was Labyrinth of Evil. There you go. It was Labyrinth of Evil. And it was about the Cato Nemoidia scenes, and the scenes where we have Revenge of the Sith reference, the book. creating a synergy or a continuity tie between the prequel movie and the novel. And this guy has a Loch Ness monster ladle. I'm jealous of that. Oh, that's hilarious. And they were insisting that it was never a coordination. It was never a coordination. Geez, that's not the proper word I'm looking for, but it was never like they worked together. Lucasfilm and George Lucas himself worked with the author regarding the events to tie them in with the book and the book in with the movie. And so they went ahead and changed that to fit what the person that this is not this editor guy, it's a different guy that works on Wookieepedia. They changed it to fit their narrative on what they think should have been done, because they don't want it to look like George had a say and helped work on these novel projects. See, that's what I'm trying to get to. And so they went ahead and changed that to make it sound like it was never a collaboration with George. There, I found my word, collaboration, not coordination. And so that's just one of the examples of what Wookiee does. And Wookiee now is a protected entity on Twitter. So you have to be in their circle of trust, I guess you can say, for you to be able to follow them on Twitter. Now that's not suspicious, right? That's not totally there. This is not about the this is not about the fans at all. It's about them protecting their own narrative. And they don't want their dishonesty to be shown. So with this, Wookieepedia is trying to piece together aftermath books with their Battle of Jakku comics that are coming out or have came out already. And I knew that this was going to happen. I just felt this in my bones, felt this in my guts. It's not like I'm predicting it. It's just something I knew, because they have a history, not Wookiee, but Disney has a history of bad continuity and not be able to keep things consistent. And then people will say, like, especially the Disney shills that are defending this corporate entity. They will say, oh, well, the books and the comics and stuff, they're not necessarily all canon. No, they are wrong. They are wrong. Because when Lucasfilm came out, when Star Wars or Lucasfilm came out with their disclaimer of coining the EU legends, like turning a new page, they made it very clear, very, very clear that they were going to make their continuity even more in line, fit together, I guess you could say, streamline it than what was before. And that means that, and they also, basically tying everything in together, meaning books, comics, movies, games, all of that's supposed to be one entity, one continuity under the canon. They made that clear, saying they're going to do a better job than what was done before. And Lucasfilm, Star Wars, basically, has always been a multimedia project or a multimedia franchise, not a project, because a project is basically like, Shadows of the Empire, but All right, so we had a power outage, but I'm back. I'm using my hotspot on my phone, so I don't know how this is going to work. So anyways, back to the topic. I suddenly felt a disturbance in the force as suddenly a channel went silent. Yes, sorry about that. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. All right, so let me go ahead and pull this up, and we will start finishing this conversation up. And I'm talking, I guess I left off where talking about Disney canceling or tossing out the universe for creative freedom. Transmission disruption. So you guys can hear me now. I am back. I tried using a hotspot to get the descript stream. It was a disaster, but I'm sure it'll be fine for you. Yeah, I'm okay. So I'm going to wrap this up. What a weird day this is. So for me. All right. But let's see here. I'm now curious to see what happened, what went on with this power outage, and waiting for family and surrounding friends and stuff like that that live in this and on the res to report to me on what happened. So anyways, we are here. So I'm going to go ahead and read this to you. So this is the disclaimer. The legendary Star Wars expanded universe turns a new page. So I'm going to read some key information here for you guys. So hopefully we are all good here with the internet. So now, with an exciting future filled with new cinematic installments of Star Wars, all aspects of Star Wars storytelling moving forward will be connected. Will all aspects of Star Wars moving forward will be connected. That's the key thing here. Under Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy's direction, the company for the first time has formed a story group to oversee and coordinate all Star Wars creative development. Well, I would say that there was still a story group. Maybe the department wasn't really official, but there was a story group, a group of people that kept the continuity in line under George Lucas. But I digress. And then, quote unquote, we have an unprecedented slate of new Star Wars entertainment on the horizon, said Kennedy. We're set to bring Star Wars back to big screen and continue to the adventure through games, books, comics, and new formats that are just emerging. This future of interconnected storytelling will allow fans to explore this galaxy in deeper ways than ever before. Again, keywords, everything, this adventure, the continued adventure of the storytelling, connected storytelling will be the games, books, comics, and new formats. In order to give maximum creative freedom to the filmmakers and also preserve an element of surprise and discovery for the audience, Disney Star Wars episodes 7 through 9 will not tell the same story told in the post-Return of the Jedi expanded universe. While the universe that readers knew is changing, it is not being discarded. Creators of new Star Wars entertainment have full access to rich content of the expanded universe. For example, elements of the EU are included in Star Wars Rebels. So they're going on with where they are, ripping off and putting them in and stuff. So demands of the past tales of the expanded universe will keep them in printed under the new Legends label. On screen, the first new faux lore to appear will be Star Wars Rebels. So here we go. So we have this right here. So they said, and they told their fans this was the promise that they were keeping, because they knew the reason why us fans love the expanded universe, not because of the phenomenal storytelling and the award-winning writers that George Lucas and company brought in, but because everything was connected. So they're using these key words that kept the fans ignited with Star Wars way before the buyout. They're using these key aspects as a promise so that they could try to keep us as fans. And look what's happening now. They haven't kept their promise to anyone. But I laugh at this because once they tossed the EU, we knew that they weren't gonna be consistent with their own story. And so we have Wookieepedia here trying to piece together all of this. But then again, someone, sorry, I was reading the text. So this is the update on the power outage. Someone posted power outage just now. So basically there's no link to why there's a power outage, but we have a power outage going on. Anyways, so, we have Wookieepedia that will keep to the narrative of Disney Lucasfilm, but still bastardize the EU to fit a narrative that it doesn't belong in and create dishonest and distrust. And that's what's going on here. And I think it's quite funny that they're trying to piece this together so that they can make Disney Star Wars look like it's coherent with each other. And it's quite not. It is not whatsoever. So let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. We're almost on a half an hour here. I don't know how long I don't know how glitchy I am. And if I sound like a robot, I apologize. Lucas Gerson says, Wookieepedia authors should remove TCW and its aligned work from the legends. That would be so much better. Well, that's, even since pre-buyout and TCW was continuing, there's a lot of fans, and there's quite a few fans that started disassociating TCW and Filoni from the original lore. And then later there had started to be retcons before the buyout with some of the novels towards TCW. So it's quite interesting. I wish I would know what exactly would have come to TCW and if it would end up being propaganda. But with that being said, it's not just TCW. It's basically what's the problem is the whole entire focus of Disney Lucasfilm towards Disney Star Wars and their promise that they were giving fans to try to keep fans interested in them by saying everything's going to be connected as if it was never connected. And Wookieepedia following that narrative and also, shaming longtime fans for pointing out this narrative and the inconsistencies and the dishonesty that was being created between them and also Disney Lucasfilm. And here we go. Thank you so much. I have 5 member Star Wars Marvel Purist member for 3 months. We've done it 1004. Woo! Congratulations. Thanks to the Collabos OG. Congratulations, you guys. All right. So now moving on up. Keep moving. It takes a lot of time and dedication to build a channel. So congratulations. And then building your community and collaborating with like-minded people like myself. So I'm very excited for you, Justin, Star Wars Marvel Purist. Congratulations. And I can't wait to get back on and unadulterated, regarding the New Jedi Order and talk some more about that, so congratulations. And if you haven't subbed to Star Wars Marvel Purist, go over there and do it. So what do you guys think about this latest update about, it's about, Disney and their lore and under like the Battle of Jakku? This is like, I think this is like right after, just like not right after, soon after, or maybe a year or so after Endor battle. I haven't looked up the time frame of the Battle of Jakku. And so this is an event that, I think Leia is still pregnant during the time, and in their lore, Leia basically conceives after the Battle of Endor or something like that. And from what I understand. And so she's still pregnant during the time when these comics are coming out. And what's quite funny is that comics are so easy to put together, and there's so much since they decided to toss the EU and make a quote unquote clean slate, there's so much, there should be no reason for them to screw up their continuity. No reason whatsoever. And comics are easy to put together and easy to put together lore when it comes to a book. And I remember like researching some of the authors, and I think it was Lucino, maybe, I could be wrong, but researching, possibly it was Lucino, some of the authors, and I think there's other authors too, that they would not only be given the Western Games source books, they would also read and study what they're going to be writing about. So they would pick up books that maybe are before, like that had came out before. So they understood the events that they're building upon. So how hard is that for, you know, someone who's producing comics to pick up Chuck Wendig's books? I know I wouldn't even want that task, right? I don't think you guys would want that task, picking up Aftermath trilogy and reading to keep continuity. But you know, so it's quite funny in a sense. It's like, it's quite funny. And I'm going to play this clip right here, because this clip, and thank you, Soul Assassin, for sharing this clip with me. But I'm going to share this clip, and she basically, where is it at? I just added it. Now oh, here we go. And this basically is exactly Disney Lucasfilm.
It is such a quiet thing to fall, but far more terrible is to admit it.
Some wise words there. You could apply that to Disney Lucasfilm. You know, there's so many places, so many like things we could discuss about Disney Lucasfilm and Disney, and you know, and it can go out to other franchises. I'm not just specifically saying it's Disney that is failing and stuff like that. There's other franchises that are as well. So I'm just referring to Disney because Disney owns Lucasfilm. So that's my topic. I understand there's other franchises that are in similar predicaments as well, but that goes well with Disney Lucasfilm. And it's quite funny that this is a original Star Wars lore character saying this. It's almost like a prediction in a sense, if you want to take it in that kind of narrative. And it's quite funny. So let me see what you're saying here. Mariana, Barbara, hi. George literally greenlit the character of Ahsoka. Seems like a lot of people forgot that in chat. I'm not reading the chat, but I think the thing is, it's not that he greenlit her. He's the one that created her in a sense. It's the fact that she survived after Return of the Jedi, and that people will agree, and I agree too, with each other and on the stance of Ahsoka, is that George and Filoni should have never created her. It contradicts Anakin's fall in a sense. Let's see here. And let me see here. There we go. Right one. I wouldn't touch the Aftermath trilogy with a 10-foot pole by reputation alone from what people have told me about it. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I agree. That's why I was laughing at it, because I'm like, these authors to the comics. It's so easy to research lore. They could have fucking went to Wookieepedia themselves. They didn't have to pick up the novel. And that's where the irony of all this is. And that's where where it makes me laugh and makes me like, oh my God, they could have, if they didn't like the Aftermath novels, or they didn't want to pick them up, or they didn't want to take the time to read, they could have went to Wookieepedia, because Wookieepedia is basically in line with Disney Lucasfilm on lore creation and stuff like that. That's quite funny. And let's see, Ahsoka could be a great character if she was not Anakin's Padawan. And that's the debate that everybody said. She could have been someone else's Padawan and still had some similar arc and stuff like that, that built upon some of the manipulation of Palpatine towards the Jedi. You know, so let's see here. I love trashing TCW for the trash that it is. I agree. Let's see here. And Chuck Wendig is an awful writer. The guy can't string a good sentence to save his life. All I know of his wibbly wobbly, whatever kind of, I don't even think it was wibbly wobbly, but I don't remember exactly, but I remember the tone of that. And let's see here. I'm glad she's here learning some real Star Wars with the elitists. Yes, I agree. I may be a normie then. I enjoyed her for the first time, and she shouldn't have survived Order 66, period. And that's fine. And I think people see this. People have pointed this out. People were curious. I didn't like her from the start, but that's me. There are people who have and are just like Dad Man Walking with she shouldn't have survived. Doesn't make sense to the continuity. And Filoni basically, turned on George with that. Let's see here. And John here says people like to talk about the few episodes that hit, but the TCW series had a terrible batting average. Yes, and I've been watching Matt Wilkins' rewatch of TCW, and boy, some of it's kind of like not cringe on his part, but watching him cringe and talk about it and point out some stuff. So let's see here. So I wanted to address this. I want to pull together all the stuff that had all my interactions and others' interactions with Wookieepedia since, the buyout. And there's one point where, they really took a turn and started really bashing fans because for adding the pronoun descriptions in the character bio that they have on there. And to me, Star Wars is not our reality, so that's not necessary. Whether I agree with pronouns or not is not the issue. The thing is that there's no need, unless the species talk that way, like I think it's the Gants or whatever, like Oral's species, they refer to themselves as in the third person until they receive honorariums. So unless the species talk in such a way, then that's not really necessary. But then still it's not necessary anyways, because in Star Wars, no one's telling you, well, now they are in Disney Star Wars, but in original lore, no one's telling you to refer to them as such and such pronoun. That was never a thing. And even Oral from the X-Wing series, I think I might have said his name wrong and I apologize, didn't require people to talk to him in such a way. Although I think it was Cornhorn, or I could be wrong. It's, that asked him why he spoke that way. And then so he gave an information about, this is what we do. This is how we are until we receive honorarium. And then we could speak about ourselves in the first person or just in general. Let's see here. Holocron Library Fox, what's up? And let's see here. You guys are chatting away in here. Punch it. Pierce bought 1,000 subs. There we go. Breaking news here. Breaking news. Pierce bought his subs.
You rebel scum.
That's hilarious. And punch it. Congratulations to you again. What a magnificent feat. And we are pushing, this channel is finally pushing 3,000. And to me, this would be like a hobbyist channel. It's not one thing. It's not a place where I rely on a source of income like other channels do. And that's their right. And this is my right, right? Right. And I would, oh shit, my smoke alarms are going off because their power is still not on. Luckily, I don't have any in this studio, my little small yoga room here. But with that being said, what I was saying is that I'd rather have quality over quantity when it comes to subs. I'd rather have people wholeheartedly wanting to come to my channel and be involved with it and subscribe and become members because of my content and what I'm putting out here for you guys. Anyways, what I'm sharing with you guys, what I'm creating for you guys. Yes, what I'm creating for you guys. And it be a small community rather than a bunch of people that are just coming in here because they want drama all the fucking time. You know, so I mean, that's just me. That's just my goal. And so thank you guys for always coming in, visiting. Thank you to the subscribers and those who have left. Thank you for being here for the time. Maybe I served you for a time being with Laura and you just figured she's not for me. That's fine. I can care less. So thank you guys. And Soul Assassin says, I honestly don't know why people follow me. I'm just an idiot that talks Star Wars, especially Old Republic. Now, Soul Assassin, if you ever began your channel and just did did lore videos or just chatted lives, I'd be there all the fucking time. You have been such a great asset to the community, Star Wars in general. And you know, I know there's probably other platforms you like to be on that is not Star Wars related. But thank you so much, and to every one of you guys as well. Putting out, laugh out loud. I know my phrasing, right? Phrasing. Yeah. Double A at I gotta read this. Double A at Star Wars Marvel Pierce. You're feeling a lot better now from last night. 69. Woo! Man, Justin, you were feeling good last night. I caught the end of, you know, the show watch along on Mr. Grizz's channel, and and man, they hit an all-time records of how many drinks they took, and they were feeling quite all right. I think the Vato should show up on pure unadulterated Star Wars. Yes, I think I may be able to land him for some Old Republic books. There you go. Right up his alley. Right up his alley. Never as Star Wars is rotting, or even as Star Wars is rotting away, revisiting the good stuff of the EU reignited my love of the franchise. And why to wary Star Wars fan, I point them out to the EU. Thrawn Trilogy, for example. There you go. And that's what this channel is about. It's being a landing platform, a safe haven, I guess you could say. Not a safe space, a safe haven to get your feet back in to the expanded universe. Or starting it up as a brand new fan. That's what this is about. And you know, and I do point out discrepancies and some news and stuff like that. And as I did here today, why? Because from the start, us expanded universe fans, elitist, old time OG Star Wars fan, has been hit since this, and even a little bit before this came out. Since this came out, and I have been a part of this backlash against the EU on the receiving end. And so, yes, I am going to still point out the hypocrisy, the irony behind Disney Lucasfilm. And this is what this is about. When you have these big fan, encyclopedia sites like Wookieepedia who serve the initial fan base up until the buyout, and then how it was polarizing after. Hell yeah, I am going to bring this shit up. I think it's part of my duty to do so. and keep this in front of you guys as well. And that's why there is a section on my live calf chat that's called Cringe Factor, because it exposes the very thing as well. Whether it is individuals or a group of people or a pop culture journalist site, I guess you can say, news site, what have you. Pierce was effed up. You guys are all talking about Pierce in the chat. I'm watching this all. I'm all serious right here, and you guys are talking about Pierce. You have a way with words, Wookieepedia, Baba. Yes, I do. I do, and they can be quite entertaining as well. Yeah, yes. Soy boy number one is to blame. His shillism were off the charts. And was that guy like playing with his chin and his face hair again? What was his name again? I can't think of the other guy's name. Not KKK Katarn or whatever. Let me see here. Pierce was effed up. Yeah. 100 haven't been like that wasted in probably over a decade. Shield shots would get you pierced. And the funny thing is, Justin, is I was listening on my phone while I was in the kitchen fixing my dinner and stuff like that. And so it was on, my husband was listening to it as well. And he was laughing, he was cracking up, and he was like, why is that guy wasted online? You know, that's what he said. And I was like, oh, it's because they're doing that game where you take a shots for certain words and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, okay. So thank you so much, Silver Org, for becoming a channel member. Woohoo! All right. So we're going to wrap this up. We're coming up on an hour, and I am going off of just battery power now on my laptop for the live stream and my phone for the Wi-Fi. So, and they're charged up, but I just don't want to waste any more. Yeah. So we're going to start wrapping things up. And I just wanted to bring this to light because I don't talk much about, Wookieepedia, but I do keep an eye on what's going on. So when you have one of the editors raving, I guess you could say, about trying to link the novelization, the trilogy, to the comics about the Battle of Jakku, and how fucked up it is to connect the lore, even characters within the lore. We didn't go through everything. Mind you, we didn't go through everything that was posted. Because I wanted, I would have, but dealing with power outages and reconnecting the internet and all this other stuff, I'm like, well, just to stay with the surface level stuff that I'm talking about. But I'm going to continue to keep an eye out on this. I am going to research exactly. I know they said the Hans characterizations between the novel and the comics is off, and where he is or what he's doing, among other things. So I'm going to look more into that. That means I got to get into the god awful aftermath bullshit and do my research on that. I'm going into the swamp, you guys. I'm going into that fucking swamp. Maybe we'll discuss it on Calf Chat. But I'm so excited that Calf Chat, we're getting more into the New Jedi Order. So again, we're going to talk about the early campaigns of the Vong. So stay tuned for that. And if you follow me Twitter, you probably might see a little bit more about the Wookieepedia controversy, I guess you could say, with Disney Lucasfilm not being able to keep up on their continuity. But it's no surprise. The Dagobah swamp. I'm in that cave on the Dagobah planet. I'm on battery power for my laptop. I'm watching while my grandma has her dentist appointment. Oh, okay. Well, it's good, Iron Inquisitor, that you're with your grandma and helping her out and stuff like that. That's amazing. You might meet Beaver Katarn at the swamp. I'm the one that called called him Beaver Katarn because he fucking looks like a beaver. His face, his teeth, and then, you know, and then my craziness, and I'm trying to close this out, but I'm just going to share this. You know how they say a woman's woohoo is a beaver? So I called him, well, I'm like woohoo, and I'm going to say, yeah. So I called him Beaver Face, and, you know, basically referring to the woman's vagina. But anyways, I digress from there. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Yes, I say some crazy shit. That's just who I am. You guys should know that by now. So new Jedi Order, new year, new Jedi Order on Cap Chat this Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, on top of Lucas Facts, Book of the Week, Cringe Factor, maybe more news on Wookieepedia. Who knows? And Disney Lucasfilm, who knows? I'm just excited to see exactly what's going to happen with them trying to piece together this Jakku Battle of Jakku mess. It's only Monday, and OG already is going off the rails. Hey, you know what? It's just another day. I don't, you know, keep track of like what days I should be prim and proper or not. I'm just being me, being real, you know, so. And I am on the 5th book, Jedi Trial, the Agents of Chaos 2 by Lucino in New Jedi Order. So I just began that. And oh my God, I can't wait to talk to you guys about it on Cap Chat. Yes, I'm going to talk to you guys because going in, and Star Wars Marvel Pierce knows this, and, you know, but rereading and still going into a campaign of the Vong and Leia trying to rescue refugees, just going straight into the battle, into war within the first chapter, like the first sentence of the book. That is fucking crazy. And I'm still taken aback by it, as I was the first time I read it. So stay tuned for that, because the Vong don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. They don't care. You know, they're on a mission. They want to control the galaxy. They want to get rid of all the infidels and have total control of the galaxy and take over. So, but with that being said, thank you guys again for hanging out with me and all these mishaps and stuff. That's fucking crazy, but hey, shit happens and we made it through. So again, these words of this famous woman here that everybody loves if you are a couture.
It is such a quiet thing to fall, but far more terrible is to admit it.
Another happy landing.